Show me your news! Alright, so there are more headlines to talk about. YouTube really did something interesting recently where I guess they released two separate lists started for the most popular games of all time. As far as, minutes watched and just overall, the watch time there. But then they also released a list for April 2015 of the top trending games. So the games that are on the uptick, acceleration for videos uploaded and increase in watch time and all that. So I kind of want to compare the two and see what we think of the list. So as far as the top 10 most popular games of all time on YouTube in terms of watch time, number 10, Dota 2. Number 9, Puzzles and Dragons. Number 8, the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Number 7, The Sims series. Number 6, Garry's Mod. Number 5, FIFA series. Number 4, the Call of Duty series. Number 3, League of Legends. Number 2, the Grand Theft Auto series. And number 1, no surprise, Minecraft.
That is no
Puzzles
surprise
and
at all.
Dragons on there.
Yeah,
What the
I
fuck?
do not know. I think I know why FIFA and Sims are on there, and that's because of glitches and corruptions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
FIFA is riddled with them, and it's amazing.
Oh, yes.
A lot of sports games have a lot of glitches, unfortunately, but that is just because they have to push them out so very regularly.
I mean, Puzzles and
That's
Dragons
something.
is big in Asia. So is that maybe the Asian market speaking with its size?
Maybe. With its eyes.
Yeah.
With its eyes! I speak with my eyes!
And that's also why League of Legends is up there. I mean, that's huge over there.
That's very, very true.
Well, I mean, that's
Um,
also like League of Legends is getting to be one of the biggest parts of esports out there right now. So it's also probably that because it is an esports giant at the moment.
Now, see, I actually spoke to someone recently, I think it was actually a Twitch streamer, about the whole esports label. He hates the esports label. Saying, oh, we shouldn't put this in sports. It's not a sport. It's a game, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize there was such a disagreement over the whole thing.
Is he
Yeah, we
saying-
talked about it last episode.
I mean, there are different parts of esports and different sections, and the different games make up their sections. Like there's League of Legends and StarCraft, I would call their own sections. Heroes of the Storm, I think, is eventually going to become its own. You've got first-person shooters, I think, just as a whole. First-person shooters and the fighting game community, I think, are all basically the same section of esportsness, if that makes any sense.
StarCraft's popularity kind of fluctuates with releases,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to really come back whenever Legacy of the Void comes out.
Yeah.
But that could be, years from now. I mean, they've been doing beta testing, but I think it's got about another year.
Yeah. I'm also surprised that Grand Theft Auto beat League of Legends.
Especially now that they have 5 on PC and there can be mods.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
I think it's the PC release that makes it.
Yeah, probably.
And then I'm just sad that Garry's Mod is there.
I'm not. Because Garry's Mod can contribute to Trouble in Little Terrace Town or something. Big Trouble in Little Terrace Town? I don't even know. But either way, it's where you are with a few other people. One person is a murderer and everyone else is civilians, and you have no idea who is who, and you must do your thing.
Please don't put Rachel on a watch list for saying that title.
The big thing with Garry's Mod is it can be anything. Like that game can be anything. So I think that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know people were still playing it.
Yeah, that and I'm just like, the For the Lulz video. Like, okay, all right.
For the lulz video?
Like, it's just the kind of video that usually is associated with, people doing wacky things in Garry's Mod.
20 exploding barrels fell on him.
We did it! Tony!
I do like the games you can make with it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of fun. Kind of cool.
As far as the trending games, though, number 10, Army of Two: The Devil's Cartel.
The fuck?
This is a game that came out a couple of years ago, so did PewDiePie get his hands on this? I have no idea.
Oh,
I feel like this seems like something Two Best Friends or the Grumps would have done, but as far as I'm aware, neither of them have touched that game. So I
that's
do
super
not know.
weird. That's really weird. Number 9, Neverwinter.
That
Number
doesn't-
8, Pokemon Rumble World.
Nice.
3DS.
But the Rumble games are fucking boring to watch. They're kind of boring to play, but like I still play Rumble World. But like they're not fun to watch.
Right. With all the updates they get though for like free codes for Pokemon on the 3DS, like this code to get this Pokemon in Rumble World, maybe that gets attention.
I guess.
Number 7, The Witcher 3, and I think if this were in May, you'd be seeing a lot more of this. I think that'd be higher on the list if it were a May 2015 to build up towards the release, but sure, April, that's fine. Star Wars Battlefront, the upcoming one, that trailer was on April 17th, so that falls in line. That makes sense. MLB 15 The Show, surprising that it's up at number 5. I mean, I like the game, but didn't think it'd be that high. Killing Floor 2 at number 4. Then Bloodborne, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and Mortal Kombat X taking the top spot.
Really surprised Bloodborne is not number 1. Wow, that's surprising to me.
We're pretty excited about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and with the release in April, that kind of falls in line. You think about it, Black Ops 3 had its reveal trailer April 26th. I mean, is the hype for Black Ops still that high that it takes only a few days in April to have it accelerate that quickly to number 2?
And
Hey, did you know how many douchebags are currently alive in the world?
Yeah,
Plenty.
but like they get bored easily.
Not to say everyone who plays that game is a douchebag, by the way. Just, unfortunately, you guys know some pretty douchey people that play that game.
Stereotypes happen for a reason.
Yeah. Yet again, there were a lot of douche people when I used to play Halo.
So quite the interesting list. I'd be really interested to see if YouTube releases these monthly. I would be very interested to see how the trends happen for gaming videos on YouTube. But I agree, Twitch would also be very interesting to see statistics like this.
Oh yeah.
That I'd like.
Because like now I'm playing The Witcher 3 on Twitch, and so is everybody. So nobody cares about our stream. But then if I go and play Pokemon Snap, they love it. So
Yeah, they loved you with that.
So there's going to be a new Need for Speed this year.
I hope it's
Good! Just what we needed!
Hey, my brother's excited, kind of.
Hey, actually, no, I used to play Need for Speed.
People were thinking it was going to be a Most Wanted game. But no, it's called Need for Speed. Because it's a reboot.
Stop it, game industry!
Stop.
Why?
So why does this like? And it's nobody likes that they do this. Why do they keep doing this?
You just watch, they're going to come out with, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It's going to be the remake of the first one.
They're just gonna call it Gears of War.
And then the new number 4 that's going to come out from Black Tusk Studio. Just watch, they're going to call it Gears of War.
I'm waiting for Nintendo to come out with The Legend of Zelda.
Dude, honestly, I've seen people guess, this very well might happen, that they call the new one The Legend of Zelda.
God, if they Nintendo, you were the only ones that don't do this yet.
Please, now.
So just don't do it.
I wouldn't mind. I don't care.
Oh, it's so confusing. Because then you always have to throw the year after it.
So?
Oh, it's lazy.
It's lazy that you can't be bothered to put just a year after the title.
But why should you have to do that? You didn't make the game.
Well, no. Well, we're not making the game, so why should we tell them what they called it?
Mario Kart ended up throwing the number after it.
They just gave up on titles and just fucking threw the number in.
And look how that worked for them. You can distinguish between them.
It was great.
And 8 especially with the Mobius strip. I mean, that worked well with their theme. But they're like, it's the 7th Mario Kart, we'll go Mario Kart 7. Like, we questioned it a little bit at the time, but it's turned out well for them. They didn't call it Super Mario Kart.
God, they should have, though.
We're not ones really for the car racing games, things like, it's going to be about deep customization, authentic urban car culture, nocturnal open world, and immersive experience.
I used to customize cars in my car games.
Yeah, we can customize Mario Karts.
No, I mean, I've been in games where you do a lot of customization on your cars, and I played Need for Speed Most Wanted.
I have a Need for Speed on Steam.
We have guilty pleasures for Need for Speed.
I had the need for speed.
I like Hot Pursuit too. That's the best one.
The one from 2010?
Yeah,
That was
the
super
one-
good. Yeah.
The one from 2002.
Motherfucker!
Hot Pursuit 3 was like 2010.
But they called it Hot Pursuit.
Oh, well, yeah. That's like the third Hot Pursuit, though.
Them.
I'm not gonna lie. After like Underground 2, I just never picked up another Need for Speed. I moved on to Midnight Club like a cool person.
Well, we were also really surprised to learn about the cast in the Ratchet and Clank movie. And apparently the main cast is generally sticking around for the most part. For Ratchet and Clank and Quark, they're reprising their roles. They got the same voice actors, and that's great.
That was good.
But then they're bringing in the celebrities because, of course, they are. So, John Goodman, Paul Giamatti, Rosario Dawson, and Sylvester Stallone.
Why Sylvester Stallone? Why?
What's he doing?
They don't say.
No?
He's free.
But both the movie and the game have been delayed to 2016, and that's not surprising when at E3 they said, oh, it's going to be the first half, the first quarter, or whatever it was, of 2015. And we heard nothing.
E3 2014, the year of 2015 that became 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's happening. I mean, it should be interesting to see them both released side by side. I wonder how they'll complement each other, but aside from cast details, we don't know too much right now. But we learned more about Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I'm in the game.
I still like Victory, but, you know.
I'm in the game.
You are in the game, Evie.
Yeah.
Jacob and Evie Fry are twin protagonists, brothers and sisters, in London during 1868, during the Industrial Revolution. It's going to be its own kind of revolution in a way of, you know, the poor and the gangs rising up to say that they've had it, they're not going to be taken advantage of anymore by those that are in power, and to try to take control of the Industrial Revolution. I like the Victory codename more, to be honest, but Syndicate it's okay. It's all right. They showed.
It sounds like it should be more modern than it is, though, and that's my problem with the name Syndicate.
Right, yeah, it does, because it kind of gives off of like a steampunk sort of.
Well, when I think Syndicate, I think sci-fi.
Yeah.
So.
Because there's the game Syndicate, so. You're going to have, you know, different historical figures like Charles Darwin and Charles Dickens and more at that time. Interesting thing with this game is there's going to be a very Batman Arkham-like device where, you know, out of the wrist with the blade, it's going to shoot up and stick to the tall buildings and then pull you up. So it's almost like the bat grapple hook sort of thing.
So it's even less realistic than Batman's grappling hook, which
Kind
is
of.
a fucking accomplishment, Ubisoft.
Yeah, kind of. But at the same time, like, this is the most modern past time that they've set an Assassin's Creed game in. And so, to maintain realism, the buildings are taller than they've ever been. So, you got to do something, especially after some of the wonkiness with the climbing in Unity. Though I think the most interesting thing with this overall was the way they presented the trailer. They were teasing, they're like, oh, it's going to be on this day, this time, blah, blah, blah. You'd expect, like, oh, the trailer gets out there and that's it. This was like a freaking Nintendo Direct for Assassin's Creed. All pre-produced, documentary style. There was like a 9-minute gameplay section that's all in pre-alpha mode. But during the beginning with the documentary stuff, they were acknowledging Unity's faults. Like, there was a section where, like, they were showing, like, all the bad reviews, and there's, like, you know, it really hurt to see all that because we spent 3 years on the game, but we know that we can do better. And
Shit, they spent 3 years on that fucking game.
in a way, if you think about it, like, the first Assassin's Creed, the very first one in 2007, not that good. It's a brand new engine at the time. They had bold new ideas. Same thing with this one. Completely new engine. So there's a lot of growing pains. But you look at Assassin's Creed Unity, yeah, it doesn't play that well. I was very disappointed in it. But looking at that game is gorgeous.
I saw somebody that made the joke at one point of, because they were talking about the pre-alpha footage of Syndicate, and she was like, yeah, last time I got excited about pre-alpha footage in an Assassin's Creed game, it was Assassin's Creed Unity, and it was the final product.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I'm still excited. I'm back in. God damn it. When will I learn? I'm the problem.
When will you
played an
ever
Assassin's Creed game since 2, and I don't really plan on. I kind of want to go buy Black Flag because I'm told Black Flag is fun.
Black Flag is fun.
But
I should beat 1.
You're gonna be that guy. You're gonna be that
tried.
guy.
I tried Brotherhood and didn't like it, and I just did not get back into it.
And finally, wrapping up the headlines, there's a Canadian who was 17 years old, and within the past few years, he's done some dumb, evil shit on the
Yeah,
internet.
fuck that kid.
Ugh.
Sorry, I'm not usually very nasty towards teenagers, but seriously, fuck this little sociopath cunt.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
Whoa. Valid. Justified. He's pled guilty to 23 cases of extortion, public mischief, and criminal harassment. And so this goes back to swatting. And we talked about how fucked up this was last year. But this is one of the kids behind it. I guess he was part of the Lizard Squad, which we know from the takedowns of Xbox Live and PlayStation Network during the holiday season.
Great.
So he's one of these little turds. The most disgusting thing out of this story was the harassment of a University of Arizona student at Tucson, of just, I guess, an obsession he had, and she, of course, repeatedly rejected him, justifiably so. Quote from the article, "The teen called the Tucson police to prompt a SWAT of her home, claiming he had shot his parents with an AR-15 rifle, had bombs, and would kill the police if he saw any marked vehicles. Then he swatted the mother too. He put the credit card info of the family online, distributed social security numbers, hacked Twitter and email accounts, canceled home utilities, or at least tried to, and it ruined the credit rating of that family and their life. He's done so many terrible things, and when you read the parts about, like, oh, it's because girls wouldn't accept his requests for Twitter, or, you know, for this, and yeah.
He's one of those kind of people, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Being bullied when you're a kid does not give you permission to be a bully when you are an adult.
Nope, it doesn't. Look at me, for instance. I'm quite normally a happy person, and I had a lady even tell me today, "Why are you always so chipper? How are you always doing this? Everyone else is really, really miserable, and you're always a happy person." And I'm like, I have no idea, but it's probably because I got treated like I was a little bastard when I was a kid, and I was bullied the shit out of. You know what you were doing, you kid? Fuck you. Sorry, I'm angry at this person.
No, I understandably
I'm
so.
really angry at this person.
He's going to be back in jail at the end of June. Make an example of him. At the very least, do that, please.
Cut up his balls.
Yeah, that'd be fair. Among other things.
Well, I mean, knowing these people, they would just say, "Oh, we're being persecuted for our beliefs because we're video gamers. We're not terrible people. You're just seeing the worst of us." And
Hashtag not all men.
hashtag
Gamergate.
Gamergate. Hashtag not your shield.
And I know those people don't like to just have like the bad eggs, speak for them and all that, but it's what your movement's done. You gotta
We don't want our
acknowledge
bad eggs to speak for us, but we're not going to do anything to stop our bad eggs from speaking for us. So
that. Yeah.
that's your job somehow.
When he's not reacting at all, when he's smirking, when the sentence is being read and he's in court, that's what fucking Aaron Hernandez did, the football player who charged and did, first-degree murder.
That's what BTK did, and he was a serial killer that ran around a town near here for years.
It's what sociopaths do. They need to go away.
Hey, if you send them to Texas, they can get
Capital punishment.
That thing.
Death
yeah.
penalty. Yeah. Well, the tough thing is, he's in Canada. Expedite him to the United States. You're making a tax on American citizens.
Oh well.
I don't know how we go from that to what's next, but it's
Segue.
gotta be done. That's gotta be done.
Show me your news.